Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and we are going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, and specifically the games that we are excited to be checking out as the Switch 2 comes out. Um, Obviously, when this on release day, there's going to be a stream here on the channel, so look forward to that. Where I'm going to be going through all of my different Switch games and seeing what's different, what's new, um, comparing and contrasting. Probably not like extremely going over, and probably not going over every single game I have, but we are going to be I will be going over a lot of them, and Jack will be joining me hopefully.
Good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna look over a lot of them. Um, but a lot of these games are getting free up. A lot of our old games are getting free updates and new and paid updates. Um, Zelda, especially, unfortunately, both of those are getting paid updates, which I'm not looking forward to at all. Um, I don't know what they're gonna change for that. I hope that it's some pretty big stuff, or they're gonna add some pretty big stuff to them if it's gonna be a paid update. Yeah, for Zelda especially. Um, but yeah, so the Zelda games, both of those are gonna be changing. I don't think that they've confirmed anything about Echoes of Wisdom. Actually, did you see anything about that?
I have not.
Okay. To be fair, that's a much simpler game. Same thing goes for the other game that is also on the Switch. I'm forgetting what its name is.
Link's Awakening.
Thank you, Link's Awakening. I haven't seen either of those get anything about an update. I know that, like I said, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, they are going to be getting updates. That has been confirmed that they are getting paid updates. Um, and I'm excited for that. I'm curious what exactly they're going to be adding to that. Um, I don't think I'm going to get them right away, just due to the fact that money's a little bit tight right now. Um, but it is something that is kind of exciting. It's exciting to see that they're going to be that they're updating these, especially since this will be the last update for those two games for a long while. Most likely, the next Zelda game is going to be a complete departure from the from Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. It will probably still take a lot of aspects from it, but it's probably going to be very, very different.
This is true.
Yeah. Um.
I see it being very similar
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Um. I don't know about Splatoon. I think that it would make sense to me if Splatoon did get an update. Um, but at the same time, I think that it would be if they're going to do anything, it will probably be like a smaller update, basically just like improved graphics or whatever. Um, and then they're probably planning to release a Splatoon 4 or whatever it is, whatever we're up to right now. I
I thought
think
they
we're
said they were done with Splatoon.
they might be done with Splatoon. So there might not be anything for Splatoon for ever from this point forward. So I haven't heard anything specifically. I'm kind of behind on the Splatoon stuff because I briefly played Splatoon 3. I played I think the first Splatoon. I don't know. I have one of them. I have one of the others. I don't remember which one. Um, but I'm not seeing it. Did I put that in a weird spot? No, I don't know where it is. It's whatever. But I did play the other Splatoon. It was fine. Or I played Splatoon 3. It was fun. I think that it was there's obviously a lot of things that they could probably keep working on. Um, I understand why they might not do any more for that for a while, but yeah. Um, but I also feel like it's got its group of people who really enjoy it, and I can't imagine them not wanting to come back to that. Even if it's like a much smaller degree, like maybe they just like port the like Splatoon 3 because that's the best version of it, and maybe they'll like do like small updates or whatever to it, or maybe they'll just keep it active the way it is, just so that people can keep playing it. I don't know, because I know it has its fan base and it's a pretty big fan base. So I don't know. Um, let's see here. Pokemon games. I don't really know what they will do with those. We know that Scarlet and Violet are getting some upgrades because they had a lot of issues at launch. So I imagine that they're gonna probably do something pretty. I think it's mostly like you'll be able to see more Pokemon. It's much better graphics. They fixed a lot of little things. But the nice thing about that is that it's a free update. So it's not gonna be so you'll be able to put in your Scarlet, put in your Violet, and just play with those, and it'll be an improvement. I'm not exactly certain what that's gonna be. I'm gonna have it be a brand new game for me, so I can see from the beginning what Scarlet and Violet really are like, um, from the beginning, and see how much different they are. Um, I don't know if they're gonna do anything with Diamond Pearl, with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, or Arceus. I imagine they might do. They might have like a small update to Arceus just to like improve the just to improve the graphics a little bit. Um, Especially since ZA is coming out and they're gonna want to be like, hey, you remember Arceus? Well, here's what ZA is going to look like. If you play Arceus on the Switch 2, you can see at least a little bit closer to what ZA is going to look like, or something like that. Um, on the Switch 2, because ZA is looking amazing just from what we've seen, but we don't really know exactly how much that's going to change. So I don't know. I'm really excited for ZA. I can't wait for that. I'm excited. But yeah, that's gonna be pre-orderable on the release day of the Switch. So obviously some people might not be able to pre-order it right away, and that's whatever. But yeah, that'll be fun. Um, Also, Pokken. Did you play Pokken at all?
No.
Okay. To be fair, it was not. It has its fan base, and I think that it's still. I think it's still part of when they do tournaments and stuff. They have a specific section for Pokken tournament. Um, Obviously, it's DX because that's the current thing. I'm wondering if that because of the fact that Pokken Tournament does have its specific group that is part of the big competitive scene. I have a feeling that they will probably do another Pokken Tournament game at some point. Um, I imagine that right now the the only thing that they're concerned about with on release day of the Switch 2 is going to be making sure that games are updated for Pokemon, so that they look nice. And then when we get to July 22nd, sorry, when we have the Pokemon Presents, that is most likely going to be mostly ZA. Talking about ZA, since there's probably going to be some big updates about, hey, this is going to be here, this is going to be here, blah 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 blah. Here's some fun things. Here's a reveal of something new, that you'll be able to do in the game. Um, Maybe they'll reveal some new freaking Mega Evolutions or something for that. That's probably going to be most of what Pokemon Presents is going to be. But because they revealed it so early in advance, I'm thinking that will probably also be revealing, hey, yes, ZA is coming at the end of the year, but here are some other things that we had in the works. Here are some, like, we're going to be releasing, I don't know, a remake or something. Maybe there's going to be a remake of either X and Y or Black and White. something along those lines. Maybe we're gonna port all of the we're gonna get every single game that has ever existed for Pokemon and put it on the Switch too. Um,
That would be incredible.
that would be incredible. Even if you have to pay a decent amount of money for each game, I think that having even if it's just a digital version of the game, hey, here's everything. We want you to be able to play all of our games and enjoy them. And not only will you be able to play all of our games and enjoy them, you'll also be able to then go in and put all of your Pokemon into home, and you'll finally be able to one, be able to shiny hunt certain things that have not been shiny huntable ever, or haven't been shiny huntable at all, for a long time. Maybe certain events that are long lost, such as like the original Diamond and Pearl, and I think Platinum didn't have this, but the original Diamond and Pearl, you'll be able to get Arceus. You'll be able to do the event for Arceus, and it's just gonna be like something that you can just do right off the bat. Like you'll be able to find the item or whatever, and then you'll be able to go and get Arceus in Diamond and Pearl. That would be amazing if they did that. I don't know if they will. But like all these little things, like, hey, we want to make sure that you're able to play every single game, and we also we know that a lot of events have been lost to time because of all just due to the fact that they were events. So we're allowing you to play through several of these old events. I don't know. I don't think they're going to necessarily do all of that, but I think that would be fun if they did that. Like maybe for the Johto games, you're able to play through the Celebi section, the Celebi event, and learn about Silver and Giovanni. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to actually do that. I would be ecstatic if they did. But I don't know. It's hard to say. If they are going to do that, they probably are not going to reveal too many new games. But if they're going to be revealing new games, I would like to see, obviously, Pokken Tournament, seeing a sequel to that, possibly the reveal of Gen 10, whatever that's going to be. Like, maybe just like a small hint towards Gen 10. It doesn't have to be much, just like a little glimpse. Hey, here's something to tide you over, because it's going to be a while before Gen 10 comes out. But here's a little taste so that you can kind of like wet your lips a little bit. And while because of the fact that it's going to take so long for us to get into Gen 10, because I'm hoping that they take a few, like 2 years again to get us Gen 10. Since it's going to take us so long for us to get to Gen 10, over the next year, over the next while until then, we're going to be slowly releasing other games from throughout the timeline, so that you can play so that you can understand, so that you can basically see the history of Pokemon. I don't know. That's like, I'm just spitballing, obviously. The other possibility is that they're going to do something massive because of the fact that they are approaching the 30-year anniversary.
30th.
Yeah, 30th anniversary.
Next year is the 30th anniversary.
Yeah. So they might be like, "Hey, this is a big one. So here's the deal. For the 30th anniversary, we're gonna do something big." Or I don't know. They like to do big things on the big anniversaries. 25th, both of those got really big stuff. So I'm imagining 30 is probably also going to be pretty big, even though ZA is coming out. That might be something that like they're just like sowing the seeds right now for the on this mid-year presents. I don't know, but they could, like I said, they could reveal new games. I think that like I said, Pokken Tournament. What other ones? There was some other one that I'm forgetting about that was Pokemon Snap. I could see that happening. And lots of different things like that they could do. I don't know. There's a lot that they have that they'll have to figure out. But I'm excited. Um, I think there was a new Monster Hunter recently, so I think that that might be going on the Switch too. I'm not certain exactly. Um, that might just be like, hey, it runs a little better on the Switch too, or something like. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too big of a fan of Monster Hunter. I just have one of them. And I'm not even certain if I'm going to be playing that when that comes out on the Switch too.
Fair.
Yeah. They're done with Mario and Sonic. They've specifically stated that because of the fact that they lost their or they no longer have a deal with the Olympics. So
That's right.
Yeah, so we're probably we're not gonna see another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, probably for a long.
Which is a major bummer.
It is such a bummer. I need to play more of the Tokyo Games, but I don't know. It's whatever. It's a little bit sad, but they'll probably come back with it. Mario Odyssey, I could imagine that they will probably do something like a small update for it. Maybe like improved graphics because it was like one of the first few games that came out on the Switch. And I think that if they are going to do that, it's probably going to be like something like, hey, there's a little bit more hints in New Donk City about what's going to be happening in Bonanza. Because Donkey Kong Bonanza is the unofficial sequel to Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm imagining that they might do for that. But yeah, I don't know. I think that it might be a little while before we see anything with that. Square is kind of in a weird spot right now, so I don't think that they're going to be doing too much with any of their games that are on the Switch too. If they're going to do anything, they're probably mostly going to be when they do their next reveal, which is soon. I don't know exactly when, but it's going to be I think it's sometime in June. They're doing some they're planning on doing some big reveals in June. So I think that they're probably going to wait until then to do anything with any of their Switch games. Personally, I would love to see something with The World Ends With You, but I don't think that they're going to. If they're going to do anything, it's probably going to be really minor. It might be like just, hey, a little bit of a graphical upgrade because to like get it up to the same level as the from the Switch levels up to like the PS4's levels when it comes to graphics. That's all I imagine that they might do for The World Ends With You. I don't think they're going to do much though if they're going to do anything. And same thing goes for like Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I don't think that they're going to do anything with that. They're like I said, if they're going to do anything, it's probably going to be like, hey, we're just improving the graphics so that it's a little bit closer to the PS5, PS4 level. Because on the Switch, it's a lot less than it was. So I don't know what.
This is true.
Yeah. So you can like obviously you can play a lot of games. Any game. I think that's probably a good thing to say about like a lot of different games that are multi-console releases. Anything that was specifically on the Switch is probably going to get a slight upgrade onto the Switch too. So it's basically at the close to the same level as like the PS4 or the PS5, depending on which console it came out on. I'm assuming that anything that was on the PS4, it's probably going to get up to that level. And anything that was on the PS5, it's probably going to get close to it, but only to like maybe PS4 levels. I think that most of them are probably going to have like these little free updates. That hey, we know that you like this game. Here's what we're doing with it, and that's it.
Fair.
I am not certain though about Katamari. So Katamari recently, so they did the rerolls, which I know you didn't play those, as far as I'm aware, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, I imagine that they might that probably soon they might reveal, hey, here's we know you love Katamari Damacy and Katamari we love Katamari reroll. Um, maybe they'll be updated to the current systems, um, but primarily they're probably just gonna be like, okay, here it is. Uh, Maybe we're coming out with another Katamari game. I don't know. They haven't done much with Katamari in a long time, so I don't think that they're gonna do too much with that. Um, I don't think you know anything about that. Blah, 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 blah. Animal Crossing. That's another.
That is a good question about Animal Crossing. I don't know what
Yeah,
they're gonna do with.
I think they have confirmed that they're going to do like a free small update for Animal Crossing on the Switch too. I think I heard something about that, but it's like really really minor. It's like just hey, graphic update, blah 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 blah, and that's it. Um, so there might be like a slight thing with that. Um, with New Horizons. Other than that, there's been no information about it. I imagine that the reason for that is that they are planning to do another Animal Crossing game. Um, I don't know exactly what that's going to be. Personally, I would love to have it be you design your own city for Animal Crossing, or
That would be kind of cool.
or maybe not necessarily a city, but like a town, a much bigger town. Um, Maybe there's like certain aspects. Um, at some point later, I want to send you the Jello Apocalypse did a video a few years back of what he wanted from an Animal Crossing game, and it's a really interesting video. I'm really hoping that Nintendo has seen that and they're going that they'll at least listen to that and be like, oh, okay, yeah, some of these are good ideas. Because they did take I think they did take a few of the ideas from New Horizons. But I want them to like fully embrace like a certain aspects to it. Um, Also, I think that it should be easier to get your villagers a little bit more personality for all the villagers. I think that right now they're too plain, and a lot of people have said that. So maybe for the next Animal Crossing they do that. I don't know. Uh, Smash Bros. I don't think that he specifically said that he is done with the series. So if they're going to do anything for it, it's just gonna continue. It's gonna get Ultimate from this point forward. Anything that's gonna happen with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be ported, and maybe is going to get some more characters if they're gonna do anything with it. Um. So yeah, I think that's it for when it comes to Smash Bros. Like obviously, we know that a lot of people still want Waluigi in Super Smash Bros. Um, there are other characters that people really want to have in Smash Bros. Um, so if they're going to do anything moving forward with Smash Bros, it is just going to be porting it. It is just going to be, hey, let's add some characters because Sakurai has specifically said that he is done with the series. He does not want to keep going with it. So he wanted Ultimate to be the ultimate version of this game. Here it is. It's done. Play it as much as you want because it's done. It's great. And it is still, it still holds up. It's one of the best. It's the best game that I've played that I've played of it. Of all the Smash Bros, I'd say that Ultimate is one of the best, and probably is the best. So yeah. So there's that. That's another Square Enix game, so we don't need to worry about that. Pokemon game. Mario Kart. I don't think they're going to do anything to 8. I think that 8 is probably like you can probably put your Mario Kart 8 into your Switch 2, and that's it. It's not going to be any different. It's not like it might run a little bit better just due to the fact that the Switch 2 is a more powerful system. But I do not think whatsoever that they are going to do anything with Mario Kart 8, just due to the fact that um, World is the launch title. So they're expecting everyone to, if you're getting the Switch, you're playing you're playing World. Period. You're not playing 8, you're playing Worlds. So if they're going to do anything,
Yeah.
it's just going to be like, it's probably not even going to have an update. It's just going to run better because of the fact that it's on the new system. That's it. And that is pretty much all of my games. There's a few others that I didn't really talk about. But that's mostly because a lot of them are kind of complicated, or they're a little bit out of there. Like, I have RPG Maker with, which I think that is probably going to be one of the best games that I personally own on the Switch 2. Primarily because of the fact that it's now going to be mouse compatible. Because which fantastic, because the doing anything on the Switch that usually the game requires mouse, it's so freaking complicated. But when you have the mouse, it's going to be way freaking easier.
Fair.
So I think the RPG Maker with is going to be really good. It's basically the same game as RPG Maker MZ. Yeah, MZ. Which was their most recent version. But it's a little bit better. There's some extra stuff and junk in there. I mess around with it a little bit. But also I know that not everyone's really going to care that much about it. So, I think that it's going to be fun, and I think that it's going to be a lot easier to play now with the mouse controls. Yeah. Yeah. So, I also want to talk a little bit about some other games. So, let's take, for example, some games that are on other systems that I would like to see on the Switch. That I think could make it could easily get onto the Switch too. Firstly, Marvel Rivals. I believe that they are probably going to wait a little bit when it comes to Marvel Rivals. For two reasons. One, they want to make sure that as a good number of people actually have the Switch 2, because not everyone's going to have the Switch 2 on release day. Granted, they maxed out the number that they could. Basically, pre-orders sold out everywhere, so there's a reason that they're doing a second pre-order on the day before release. Because they're like, okay, we have a few extra systems, you can do some pre-orders, but we're trying our best. But especially with the tariffs happening, we have to be extremely careful. We have to be we have to get as many out as possible. So we'll see what happens exactly. But the Switch 2, it's probably it's going to be a very complicated situation for a while. So yeah. But with Marvel Rivals, just as an example, and any game that was not on the Switch, but it could be on the Switch too, I think that they are probably going to wait until a season change. So, for example,
That's probably true.
yeah. So let's take for just an example, Marvel Rivals. They are about halfway through their current season, and with that, that means that, in July, I think, is when the early July, I think, is when the next season is going to drop. They are changing it so that it's a season every 2 months instead of it being 3 months. But So if they are going to do anything, they are probably going to release it close to, if not on the start of the new season, so that anyone who is going to be able to play it will be able to do it. Same thing goes for like uh, Fortnite or Apex Legends, any other games like that. Um, if it's something that just needs to be ported and your system will keep the data, then whatever, they'll just do that. Anything that was not able to run on the Switch or was not on the Switch itself, it is probably they are probably going to wait till their next season. I don't know exactly how every single game works, but anything like that is probably going to wait until their next season, and then with the next season, they'll be like, "Hey, it's on the Switch too. Enjoy." Um, like probably like for those that are paid, they'll probably do like a pre-order. They'll probably be like, "Hey, it's coming out. Here's the deal. Go get it." And you'll get like a little bit of time to basically go and get the game, to know about hey, it's coming to the Switch too. If you need to like get a cartridge for it, or if you need to purchase it on the Switch, they'll give you like maybe like a month to get that ready. So, but like I said with Marvel Rivals, because of the fact that it's a free game, they will probably not reveal that it's coming to the Switch 2 until like they might reveal that it's coming to the Switch 2 on like as they're prepping for the next season, because they haven't revealed anything about the next season yet. Because like I said,
Fair.
we're only about halfway through through the current season. So once they have done that, then it will probably release right on the release on the start of the new season, and then everyone is going to be running in onto their Switch 2 and checking it out. Anyone who has the Switch 2, and I think that giving it a little bit of time up until July would make sense. So I'm not gonna go any more into detail with that because that's long, complicated stuff. Um, Final Fantasy. I think that they will port it pretty quickly. I'm not certain exactly when, but I think they are probably going to wait until they do the Square Enix reveal thing that they're doing soon. I think they're doing something. There's some event coming up soon. I think it's like Summer Games Fest or something like that. And that is probably going to be revealing like Kingdom Hearts. That's going to be re-revealing Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out soon. We will probably see possibly the next Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 14 is coming to the Switch too. The remake of Final Fantasy 9, which is like right around the corner, the birthday. So, and it's a big one. So they're gonna do some. I'm 90% certain they're gonna do something big for that. I think it's their 25th or something. Make sure of that.
Oh, from Final Fantasy 9?
Yes.
Maybe.
Let's see here. Yes, 2007 or sorry, 2000. July 7th, 2000. That's the birthday. So that was the day that it came out. So, so probably for that release day. So on they might be planning to do something big for that because they've been the Square Enix website is going crazy for Final Fantasy 9 stuff. So pretty much everyone thinks that they're going to be doing something with the remake soon. So Final Fantasy 9 remake. If you're excited about Final Fantasy 9, we're probably going to be seeing that very soon. Yeah, 25th anniversary. That's coming up. So they're going to be doing something big for that. So look forward to that. And again, I think 14, we're probably going to be seeing some pretty... like I said, I think they might release it with... they're probably going to release that as soon as they're able to, because they've I think I told you this in a previous nerd chat. I could be wrong, but they did say a while ago that they are in talks with Nintendo about getting Final Fantasy 14 onto the Switch, or the Switch, the successor to the Switch. I think that's what they said. So, or some Nintendo consoles soon. Um, and based on the fact that they said that they were in talks, like before the Switch 2 was even revealed, they said this. Um, they most likely are going to be releasing that sooner rather than later, and it really doesn't matter when they do the release, because I think if they're going to do a release though, they are probably going to do it at a time when player count is low. So basically, shortly before well, not necessarily shortly before, but a little bit before the next expansion, or not expansion, but the next major update. So before 3.0, because we just hit 7.25 is what just released this week. So most likely in a few months, we're going maybe even as early as July, we will be getting Final Fantasy on the Switch 2. Final Fantasy 14 on the Switch 2. And you'll be able to play you'll be able to play it. And it won't take much, because they have a lot of these systems already in place, and it will be great because a lot of people will be able to play it for the first time. So I think that a lot of people, there's gonna be there's gonna be a massive influx of people who are gonna be playing on the Switch too, if they do actually implement that. And it's pretty similar system, so it wouldn't be hard, and because of the fact that it's going to be early players mostly, they won't necessarily have to worry about it being close to an update like they would with Marvel Rivals, where everyone gets updated simultaneously and everyone sees the new stuff. Um,
Eh.
so the new players would basically be playing as wherever they are at the time. So if you want, so yeah, I think that they probably are going to aim for a specific point so that they will not have to worry about the influx of players right as a release date happens. Or they might specifically aim for it so that they can give the players a decent amount of time. Because the fact of the matter is that they're not, no matter what they do, they are not going to have enough time to get everyone for everyone to for even most players. Any player is not going to be able to get all the way through the story of Final Fantasy 14 before the next update. Even if you start right now, you probably will not get up to date with the story until the next expansion. So, and I don't mean like 7.3. I mean 7.4, or I mean not even 7.4. Not until 8.0. And we have 3 more major updates before we hit 8.0. So you will not be up to date until at least 8.0, even if you started right now, because it's like maybe a few fast players will be able to get through it all, but that would basically mean you're skipping cutscenes, you're basically just running through the MSQ, you're not doing anything else, which that's like half the fun. Why would you rush ahead to the current stuff with Final Fantasy? So yeah, I don't know. Those are just like some immediate thoughts with it, because yeah, it will take time. I started in like Stormblood, which was 5.0, I want to say. Yeah, 5.0. And I think I was like somewhere in the middle of that. is when I started. So it was like probably 5.2 or something like that, and I was able to get through it before 6.0, but it was all but 6.0 was no wait sorry that was 4.0 sorry. So I was able to get through 4.0 all the way through the 4 point stuff before 5.0 came out. Um, and I was able to do 5.0 and 6.0 and 7.0 as they released. Um, but I was not able to do but that was also like really early in the stuff. So there's been like massive amounts of stuff that has been added since then. So I don't think that anyone's going to be able to get up to current date unless they release the game on release day of the Switch 2. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they are. It's so we'll see what happens. And like I said, the only way that you would be able to get through it all is if you only focused on the MSQ. You didn't worry about like any side content. You didn't worry about the real MSQ. You didn't worry about getting every single class up to or getting several classes up to different levels. If you stuck to one specific class and did just the MSQ, then you might be able to do it. But no one wants to do that because the whole point of the game is that you can play lots of different classes. So, yeah. I don't know. Those are just some of my immediate thoughts. So, yeah. There's that. Sorry, a bit of a rant there. Is there any game that we've talked extensively about that you would want to see on the Switch?
Not really. We kind of hit on them all already.
Including like games that were only on the PS4, PS5.
Yeah, seeing as I don't know much about them.
Yeah, I thought we talked about a few different things. Yeah, I can't really think of anything specific. I mean, I've said one thing. I think we've talked a little about Kingdom Hearts. But you can play Kingdom Hearts on the Switch. It just sucks because it's the freaking cloud gaming. Ugh, I'm still annoyed about that. But have you played Kingdom Hearts on the Switch or because I know
Nope.
I okay. I told you about it, but I don't think you did.
I did not.
Would you want to play it if it came to the Switch too?
Potentially.
Okay. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I think the biggest problem with the Switch is that it, like I said, it's really early in its time. Oh, that's another thing about the Switch too. Are you excited to be able to play the Coliseum games again?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited because that is gonna be my first time able to play the games. Because
Wow.
yeah,
Yep.
I didn't have a GameCube. I do have a Wii, so if I had decided to pick up a copy of Coliseum or XD, then I probably could have played it on the Wii, but this will be the first time that I'll be able to play it. So I'm thinking, just for the record, as to what I'm thinking of doing, is I might, after because this Thursday is going to be the chaotic one where we're going to check out a whole bunch of different things. I might have Coliseum be my Throwback Thursday stream where I'm going to be playing through the Coliseum games for the first time because I'm ecstatic for that. That is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I actually
Yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
yeah, and like it's probably not going to be very different from the actual game from the original games because it's just a port. Like, it might be slightly better
Yeah,
graphics and stuff like that. Um, but as a whole, it's probably going to be exactly the same. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think that's the thing that I'm most excited for when it comes to the Switch 2. Being able to play freaking Coliseum and XD on the Switch 2. That's going to be so much freaking
agreed.
fun. Um, I think there was a few other games that are also coming to the Switch 2. Let's see here. Switch 2 games. Let's see here. Nintendo has a thing with the games. Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Oh, how do you feel about the Welcome Tour costing money?
I think that's so stupid.
It's so stupid. It's just like, what the fuck? Why? Why is that a thing? I don't understand. It's just
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed by that. Not gonna lie.
yeah, I imagine everyone is annoyed by that. So, yeah. Um I don't I don't understand why they're doing that. I really really don't. Um let's see here. So yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming out in July, like right after my birthday, which is so much fun. That's gonna be great to be able to play that right after my birthday. Um, Hyrule Warriors is that's gonna have another game that's in winter. Um, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun. Uh, Split Fiction, Hades 2 is coming to that. Bravely Default is coming to that, which Square has been talking about that. Same thing goes for Final Fantasy VII. Or it's got its remake is coming. Yeah, there we go. The Nintendo Classics. Let's see here. They said something. Yeah, GameCube Classics are coming. Let's see, which ones did they reveal? Oh, Wind Waker. Yeah, Wind Waker's gonna be on there. I don't know if you how much you played of that, but that's gonna be
Mm-mm.
that's gonna be part of the classics. Freaking Soul Calibur 2, which I played on the PS2, which is very different. Um, I'm curious if they're I believe on the PS2 and the Xbox, the original Xbox, they each had a character, but there was like a way to get the character on all of the from all of the games. So I'm wondering if for the for the GameCube Classic version of Soul Calibur 2, obviously you'll be able to play as Link, but I'm wondering if you'll be able to get the characters from the PlayStation and the Xbox as well.
Well,
So
that would be interesting.
that would be interesting. F-Zero is going to be on there, which I've never played an F-Zero game, so I'm so I might play that as well, just like to check it out. Wind Waker, yeah, we saw that. I think I will also be playing freaking yeah. Okay, here we go. I think I will definitely play Wind Waker. So Super Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, no idea what that is. Luigi's Mansion, the original. So that sounds fun. Coliseum, and that's the last thing that they revealed. So there's probably more on the GameCube that they're going to be getting on that. I don't know. I have no idea what games they're gonna have on there, but I'm excited for that. That's gonna be so much fun. uh the game, yeah, playing the GameCube Classics games is gonna be so much fun. Um, yeah. Uh, so yeah, they I think they let's see. So they did reveal some things for these. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, so Mario Party is getting an update, an upgrade. Um, the they don't say really anything specific about Zelda except for the fact that hey, it's gonna be there, but it also is gonna support Zelda notes. So I don't know what I think I'm gonna wait on the upgrades to the Zeldas until I know for a fact that it's actually worth it. Because there are going to be some reviewers and stuff who are going to be going over the changes with that. So I'll probably check out those different upgrades. Um, Especially since it's going to cost money. I'm not going to pay for that.
Yeah,
And
no.
yeah. The rest of the games, those are the only games that they specifically revealed, hey, this is going to cost money. Like ZA is also going to be different, but you could get ZA immediately on the Switch too, and that's going to be the only. So pretty much everyone is going to probably go for the Switch 2 edition if they can, and anyone who is not is probably going to be going. Anyone who cannot get the Switch 2 version is probably going to be going for the Switch version, and then they'll just play it on the Switch 2 once it comes out. Once they get it, I should say. So, yeah. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. But, yeah. But I'm really excited for Bonanza. I know that not every people are not real not everyone's gonna be playing um Bonanza really right away. Um, but I'm actually really excited for Bonanza. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, so I think that playing Mario Kart World for the first few months is going to be a lot of people are really going to enjoy it. Probably a lot of people are going to figure out maybe not necessarily all of the secrets from the game, but yeah. Uh, but yeah, there's going to be 24 players on that. That's going to be or 24 racers, I think is what they said. And that's exciting. And also a lot of new characters. So it's gonna be fun to see what characters everyone's gonna choose. Um, I also think I think they specifically said that cart customization is not gonna be as much of a thing in this game, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because I think like you might be able to maybe you'll be able to play with the different carts and stuff. Um, like you'll have a racer and then you can choose your cart maybe, hopefully. Otherwise it might just be like hey you start each character has their specific cart because the fact that it's like but we made it so that it's a lot more balanced so so each character has like specific like um you can win with any racer or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a lot more skill based than hey design your cart to be like the best cart because a lot there's so much with the carts in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and I think 8 as well where eventually it became like everyone always raced with the exact same cart period which was annoying like I think it's like a whole shit ton of wigglers and wiggler carts, and it was just like, stop it, why are you all the same? Um, and yeah, I just never. That's part of the reason why I never played it. Why I never played like the professional stuff. Um, but yeah, I think that for the first few whiles, for the first while with Mario Kart World, people are probably gonna actually be like learning the races and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll probably be a lot easier to play when you start off to actually be checking out the different races and stuff like that. I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyways, guys, I think that's where we're gonna call it for today. Um, like I said, look forward to Thursday's stream because we're gonna be that's gonna be um, checking out the Switch 2 in all its glory. Um, so yeah, look forward to that. I don't really have anything else to say. Do you have anything else to say, Jack?
Nope.
All right. Then yeah, we will call it for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's nerd chat. And like I said, look for on Thursday there will be a Switch 2 look over everything where I'm gonna go through not all of my games, but most of my games so that we can actually say like, okay, this is different, this isn't, and blah 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 blah. Anyways, hopefully you've enjoyed. I've been Electro Ninja. He's been Jack, and we will see you guys next time. But on